they are doing it. They are now implementing this agenda to reset our entire system. And this is happening today. People are waking up today in the United States of America and they are having negative bank accounts. All of their money is gone, disappeared on some of the top banks in the country. Multiple banks this is happening at. And this could happen to you, right? Millions of people are being affected right now, and they are not able to access their funds and their money due to, quote, glitches. And also, the second largest bank closure in American history just happened today, too, due to liquidity issues and customers not being able to withdraw their money. And this bank has branches all over the country. People are lined up trying to get their money out, and they can't. So the Great Reset is here. The Great Monetary Reset is here. They are trying to implement this central banking digital currency, and it's going to happen sooner than we think because it's going to be essential. It's going to be an emergency. They're going to have all these crises one after another, where we have to have a central banking digital currency. We have to have a digital ID to, quote, protect you from all of your bank accounts being drained. All right, millions of people right now are being affected. Businesses are being affected. And this is serious. And this is a major red flag and warning sign of what's coming next. I was just warning yesterday, partially, just a little bit in my video, about how there was many topics covered, but this was one of the topics, how top EU regulators are warning banks to prepare for massive cyber attacks, and they're telling them to do stress tests to be prepared for cyber attacks and to shut down their banking systems. So we are looking at a great monetary reset. This is going to happen very soon. I really don't want this to happen. This is very dangerous. This is one of their major cards that they can play, and it's one of the most devastating as well. So let's get into what's happening here. Multiple banks are having major issues. Let's get into what's happening at Wells Fargo first, and then we will get into the second largest bank closure in U.S. history, and the federal government came in and closed this bank. You should always have some kind of cash. You should always have some kind of monetary value that you can offer that's not digital, because these digital currencies, even right now, all right, your bank account is completely digital. We already have a digital currency. It's just not a central banking digital currency, all right, a cryptocurrency. Essentially, that's not what it is yet, but that's what they are trying to implement so they can track and trace every single transaction. That's the downfall of crypto. People say it offers great freedom, but every transaction is also tracked and traced in a ledger, and it's a open ledger, and that's what the government wants as well. They want to be able to track and trace every single transaction, and they're going to implement these crises until they can do that, until people are begging for it. So let's get into Wells Fargo first, and then we'll get into this other bank as well. People are wrapped around the bank trying to get in. So you can see here, Wells Fargo says they're having, quote, technical issues, just technical. And do you remember this? This happened a month ago with another bank. I'll touch that in just a second. But they're having technical issues causing customers to report missing deposits. Like, what is this? It's a technical issue. How are your deposits just missing? Completely unacceptable in the United States of America. And how is this happening? Both of these banks are having major issues on the same day. How? It's either a major liquidity crisis or maybe a cyber attack is hitting Wells Fargo as well. And you can see here the bank sought to reassure frustrated customers that their accounts remain secure and said it was working to resolve the issue. So just missing deposits, money just missing out of their account, millions of dollars. And this is the error that people are getting on their phones and when they log into Wells Fargo. It says, if you see incorrect balances or missing transactions, this may be due to a technical issue, and we apologize. Your accounts continue to be secure, and we're working quickly on a resolution. They keep using that word secure. Your account is secure. Don't worry. It's not, it's nothing sketchy. Millions of dollars, potentially billions, are missing, and it's fine. It's fine. No big deal. Here's another alert. When you log into Wells Fargo, it says if you see incorrect balances or missing transactions, this may be due to a technical issue, and we apologize. Your accounts continue to be secure, and we're working quickly on a resolution. So it's secure. Don't worry about it. This same exact thing just happened at Bank of America last month. It's secure though. Don't worry, it's a complete coincidence. Look at this. This was a video from last month that I reported on, and this happened just last month. So what are the odds that this happens at Wells Fargo too? Another technical issue, another glitch, and money's just missing. This is either a cyber attack, a dry run. They're testing what they're going to do for the big one. And this is dangerous. This is Wells Fargo. This is Bank of America. Another massive bank we're going to get to in just a second has collapsed. The federal government has come in and shut them down. What's going on? Is it liquidity problems? They just don't have enough money to put in these people's bank accounts. But most of it's digital. It's not like these people are coming in and trying to, and it's Wells Fargo. They're backed by the Federal Reserve, massive conglomerate, massive bank, almost too big to fail. And what's going on? People aren't coming in trying to get cash. You know what I mean? A ton of cash. It's not a cash run or something like that. So what is it? A cyber attack? What's happening here? And I'm worried that this could happen to everyone at once and cause a major disruption in the economy. And this could go on for days. Look at Dish Network. This has been going on for weeks. This cyber attack. People can't watch TV. They can't use their internet. They can't use their phone. They can't log into their account. Nothing. Look at the city of Oakland. This has been going on for over a month. A massive ransomware attack where many of their services have been shut down. And they've even called in the National Guard, their cybersecurity unit, to work on their cyber infrastructure to try to get it back online. This is absolutely insane, and this could happen to banks at any moment where they are offline potentially for weeks or months. This is the era that we are moving into, and they are always warning of this, a cyber pandemic, a great reset, a black swan event to reset the grid, to reset the financial system, to reset the internet. These are the main things they want to reset and have complete control over: our finances, the internet, and the grid, the electrical grid. All right. So just a complete coincidence that this happened at Bank of America. It's no big deal, and your account is secure, and don't even worry about it. So let's get into this other bank that is also collapsing on the same exact day that Wells Fargo is having this massive event. It's just a coincidence. Don't worry. It's a major coincidence, and your account is secure. It's no big deal. Don't even worry about it. Check out this article. Happened the same day as the Wells Fargo event. You just cannot make this up. Silicon Valley Bank is shut down by regulators in biggest bank failure since global financial crisis. And this is a bank that has branches all over the country, and they have loans with businesses all over the country as well. Major businesses, even major businesses like Roku, have loans with this company, and they are saying they have 26% of their cash equivalents inside of Silicon Valley Bank, and now the bank has been seized and shut down by the federal government, and their stock is collapsing as a result, and potentially 26% of its cash equivalents are gone. The FDIC only covers up to $250,000. These companies could have millions of dollars. They could have tens of millions, some of them potentially billions of dollars. We do not know what these accounts look like, but bare minimum, potentially millions of dollars in these accounts that are up to just be liquidated and be completely gone in a bankruptcy scenario or a collapse of this Silicon Valley Bank. And this is affecting people individually too. You can see here people all the way in Massachusetts are lining up to get money out of their bank, out of branches of Silicon Valley Bank. This was posted on Twitter. Go follow me on Twitter if you're not already. I've gotten in trouble on here and on YouTube, and you never know. So go follow me on Twitter. But you can see here, this was posted. It says Shades of 1930s. This is my bank outside of Boston this morning, and it says Boston Private Bank recently acquired by Silicon Valley Bank. All right. So all these people are at risk of losing their money because banks are collapsing. Banks are having glitches. We're supposed to be able to trust these banks, but some people have their retirement money in there. Some people have their entire life savings. They only cover up to $250,000. I know that is a ton of money, but some people have massive business accounts with these banks. Some people have their life savings. They saved up their whole life for their retirement. They have a few $1,000,000 to retire on, and only $250,000 is saved. This is absolutely nuts and insane that this could happen in the United States of America. And the last time this happened was in 2008 when we had a massive financial collapse, and people are worried that the banks could now be bailed out in 2023 as well, and just collapse the financial system even more, devalue the dollar even more, print even more money, and just cause even more chaos in the markets and the economy and for the value of the dollar. Countries all over the world are abandoning the dollar and using alternative methods like the yuan to buy oil. All right, they don't have to use the dollar, the petrodollar, to trade and buy oil internationally. They are using alternative currencies. They are using India's currency as well to trade. Many countries are. They are moving away from the dollar because they know it is subject to sanctions as well. Look at what happened the past few years. Anyone that was using the dollar that did not agree with the U.S. got hit with massive sanctions to their country, and they had to dump all their dollars, and a lot of their assets in dollars got locked up, got seized. So countries don't want to be subject to that as well, and they're going to be moving away from the dollar, and then those dollars are going to flood back to the United States and cause even more inflation here and devalue our dollar here even more in the long term. So look out for this to happen a lot more. We've seen these massive crypto pyramid schemes, and honestly, fractional reserve banking is a very similar scheme to it. They use your money in the bank as collateral to give other people loans. That's why you get paid interest to put your money in the bank, because they use your money when it's in the bank. It's in the pot technically, and they use your money to give other people loans, essentially, to create more money as collateral, to create even more money. It's a massive, honestly, pyramid scheme. It's called fractional reserve banking, and that's what our economy is based off of, and it's honestly unsustainable, and it reaches a limit, and they are pushing us to this limit on purpose very quickly, and they're going to implement this collapse so they can bring in a central banking digital currency, a cryptocurrency version of the American dollar. That way, everything you do is tracked and traced and manipulated, and they can block you out of the system. If you're not a good little boy or girl, they will kick you out. All right, we already see this in China. People can't access forms of transportation if they do not have a high enough social credit score. They can't get on the train. They can't go on planes. They can't do certain activities. They can't go to concerts. Things like this, if their social credit score is not high enough and at a acceptable level. So they are going to bring this here, and they're going to use the collapse of the US dollar to do it. And it's also very dangerous for our national security. We have massive military budgets, and if the dollar does collapse, then we will not be able to print all of this money and just spend it like crazy. Other countries will not accept it and value it the same way. They will see our currency as devalued and not as desirable as it was a few years ago, right? It will not go as far. We will not be able to buy as much, and we'll just have to keep printing more and more to get us out of this hole, all right? And even Yellen is warning House members of, quote, economic collapse from a default. This is just rich because we're going to have economic collapse if we default on our debt. But if we keep this insane debt up, we're also going to have an economic collapse. Look at where this is getting us to as well. So either way, they kind of just have us by the you-know-what at this point, and we're kind of screwed if we do and screwed if we don't at this point economically. And this is all on purpose. Even this Silicon Valley Bank was on purpose. Look at this, all right? The CEO just cashed out just a few days ago before this bank collapsed, all right? All of this is on purpose. We're just seeing this at macro and micro levels. This is at a micro level, but with our economy, we see it at macro levels with the Federal Reserve as well, and with insider trading with our members of Congress, all right? We know this goes on. Some of the richest members of Congress have some of the most abundant stock portfolios and are some of the best stock traders in the country, and have some of the highest margins because they are doing insider trading. They know what bills are going to be passed. They know what's going to happen next because they are predicting it and implementing it. But you can see here that the Silicon Valley Bank CEO sold $3.57 million worth of their stock in the past few weeks. So just not suspicious at all. He had no idea what was going on because now their company has been seized by the federal government and is completely defunct. He had no idea, not suspicious at all that this was happening. So don't even worry, guys. A complete coincidence, just a coincidence that these two banks happen to have these massive problems on the same day, and Bank of America had a glitch last month too. It's just a coincidence. Don't even worry about it. Do not get prepared. Do not get stocked up. Do not get cash. Do not have food. Do not have seeds. Do not have coins. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't get prepared. It's safe, just like they said. It's secure. Your little number in the account is secure. They will manipulate it and do whatever they got to do to keep that number there in your account, right? Because that's honestly all it is at the end of the day, is just a ledger that these banks are keeping track of your account, all right? And we trust them to do it, and then we have days like this where it's like, hey, your money's missing, but don't worry about it. So obviously I was being sarcastic. You should get prepared. You should stock up. You should have seeds. You should have chickens. You should have coins. You should have cash. You should have your money diversified into different things, gold, silver, different assets, just in case, because we're going to see a lot more of this soon where certain accounts where your money's at, you're just not going to be able to access it, or it's even negative. People are even reporting money's being taken out. It even says incorrect balances are missing transactions. So even deposits are missing, and now people are negative thousands of dollars as well. So very serious, guys. Make sure you're getting prepared. This is one of those things where they want this to happen, though, to implement a digital currency. They want the chaos problem reaction solution. They want the problem of this. This is a problem. The reaction is, what the heck? People want their money safe and secure. They don't want to feel like their money's disappearing. And the solution is, here's your digital currency. The Federal Reserve in New York and San Fran have already been working on it, and they want to implement it bad, and they are pushing for it. And every event like this gives them more fire to say, hey, we need this. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please hit that sub. Please hit that bell. Please hit that all for me if you want to get notified for all my videos. I'm super blessed to have you guys just interested in hearing my opinions on this, and I'm blessed to be able to bring you guys the news. So thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.